Hi everyone, it's Mary. Welcome back to the channel, and I am diving into the Hero Arts August card kit. It is so full of inspiration. There are so many stamps and lots of goodies that came with it. So this first video I'm going to focus on some backgrounds. Now the stamp set that came with the kit I cut down so that I can fit into my pocket here, and then I put my dies on a magnet sheet. Just a little FYI. So I'm going to start off. My first background is going to be a sky background, and I've taken one of those clouds that came with the kit. There's actually a few different clouds in this kit, so it's pretty cool. And I'm going to white heat emboss this the cloud all over the background. So very symmetrical. I just placed them kind of what would you say, staggered down the side of the Canson XL watercolor paper. After I heat embossed, I then put Stormy Sky Distress ink all over my sky, and I didn't want the blended look. I wanted more of a watercolor look. So I took a water brush, and just kind of went over it as if I was painting. Dried it up a little bit, dabbed up some of those puddles that fell in between the clouds, and then the last touch I did was take some, I want to say this is Faded Jeans Distress ink, and just put that around the outside. So there is the first background. I'm going to do all the backgrounds first, and then we'll finish up the cards. So this second one I did here was I'm going to stamp on the same exact technique. I'm going to do a heat emboss resist technique, but I just took some of those stamps from the set. So many cool ones. Lots of very, very diverse stamps. And I just went diagonal down. This is Bristol Smooth. So Bristol Smooth cardstock. And I am so in love with this color combination. So I have Cracked Pistachio, Salty Ocean, and Faded Jeans on the bottom. And this is Distress Oxide. So they blend so much better, like butter. Love them. And so what you want to do is just go back and forth between each of the colors until you get exactly the blend you want. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going through making sure I get that blend. So easy to do. I absolutely do not need to have an arm workout anymore with this Distress Oxide. So I love that. So that's it. That was it for that one. Next one is going to be a little bit more chic, a little modern. I'm taking that circle-ish type of stamp that comes in the kit, and I'm using some gray ink from Stampin' Up!, then some Twisted Citron Distress Oxide to put that star. It's the same pattern. It's kind of like a dot pattern. So I'm putting that in the center of all of those circles. And then once that's finished, I'm then going to add these three little crosses. Potentially they look like the North Star, but there's three of them. So they came together, and I'm using some black ink for that. So here I have like a modern, chic kind of background for it. Moving on to the next one is going to be where I stamp out one moon and lots of stars. And so I'm just going down this paper all over the place, just very haphazardly, I guess you could say. Here is my Spectrum Noir chart that I absolutely need when I'm coloring. I skipped the coloring because that would just make this video way too long, but I did use my chart. And now what I'm doing is going over with a Versamark pen all of my images. This is another way that you can do your blending or masking of your images once you color them, is you can heat set that with some clear embossing powder, and then you could take whatever color ink you want to go over it, and it'll basically mask it off because it's the heat, it's a emboss resist. So that's another way you can do that. Now I'm using here Stormy Sky again, and I don't show the whole thing, but I go back and forth making the bottom of that darker. This one was probably my least favorite. But it could be used for a child, so you'll see how I finish that one off in the end. Here I am taking the stencil that came with the kit, my palette knife, and some beautiful shimmer paste. And I am going all over that. Now keep in mind, when you're going over oxide or distress inks, you're going to pick up some of that color with your palette knife when you're scraping it off. I'm okay with that. I wanted to keep the excess, so I just put that back in the jar. And here we have my 5 finished backgrounds. Alright, so let's get into actually making these cards. I used some black cardstock and cut out some of these pieces. I chose these two for the very first card. And what I'm doing is I'm drawing with a marker those lines of him actually fishing. The intent here is that he is picking her up to bring her together, to bring them together. I wanted a stamp set that said "Together is better." I don't know if you've ever read that leadership book. It's like a cartoon book, very short, very easy read, lots of wonderful leadership quotes in it. Absolutely love it. So I wanted that, but I don't have that stamp set, and I certainly can't write it out. It was horrible when I tried. So I picked one from Impression Obsessions that says, "I'm so glad we're friends." And hopefully that gets that across. Now I covered that in glossy accents to finish off those images. And I thought that turned out very simple, very clean, and straight and to the point. I'm so glad we're friends. All right, taking that next background, and I'm going to do a shaker card with this one. So use the Lawn Fawn stitched rectangle, pop that center out. I'll use that for a different card. And I am going to use this paper that came with the kit as the background. So I'm using really strong, thin score tape to hold my acetate, and I'm going to use some StazOn black ink to stamp the sentiment on the acetate sheet. I don't know if I have any heat embossable acetate left, so I thought this was a safe choice. Just make sure you try to clean off that StazOn pretty quick because it could stain. Alright, so I'm doubling up my foam tape here just like that, and now I'm cutting off my pieces. I'm getting all my foam. Now when you're making shaker cards with easy shapes is the easiest way, obviously, right? So I'm just going to cover that, make sure all of that foam tape touches, none of the sequins can slip through. And I'm using the sequins that came with the kit. So it made it very simple. I didn't have to do any extra thinking. Thank you, Hero Arts. Now I'm putting that sort of vellum-y paper that's on the back, and I wanted to place that on a white panel. However, the white panel just did not look good. So I am making some clear glitter cardstock with some embossing powder that has shimmer and glitter in it. And I thought that that just added a little bit extra to the behind of this shaker card. I didn't want it stark plain white, and this was exactly the touch I wanted. So I added that to my card, and that is the finished card. You can kind of see that shimmer peeking out from the side there. So that's the shaker for this set. And that was a lot of fun to do, and those sequins are just dreamy. All right. On the next card, I am taking this Tailored Expressions stamp set, which I adore because it is all inspirational. So I am taking that, and I am just using one of the other cutouts where it looks like the girl is flying through the sky. I have a balloon cutout here from Simon Says Stamp, and from that Tailored Expressions I used Up, Up, and Away. And that's a Dr. Seuss saying. So here I've just drawn a balloon string so that she can hold on to that. And I'm putting her down flat with some glue. I popped up that balloon with some fun foam, and then on the inside of the card I have stamped out an inspirational quote. So if you take a look at that stamp set, you're going to see all such cute stuff, such cute sayings. I'm finishing this off with some glossy accents, and that will do it for that card. I thought that was kind of whimsical and kind of fun, kind of dreamy, really. Reminds me of a dream. Alright, so this is what I did with the card that was kind of my least favorite here, but I popped out with the dies that came with the kit some of the stars and the moon. And behind it I used my Wink of Stella gold and silver glitter markers, so that when I lay it down, behind those you can see that silver and gold. And that was just to give it a little something extra than what it already was, but it didn't make too much of a difference. On top of that, I took the saying, "Love you more than the stars, more than all the stars," and I just made a black banner across the front of it. So it's a cute card. It doesn't wow me, but it's cute. So I finished up with that one. Okay. After this card, we're getting into that dreamy, beautiful blend of those blue and green colors. And I'm going to keep this card super clean and simple. I'm loving this palette with black backing, so I've done that. And then these little diamonds that look like earrings without the posts, I got off the Wish app. I think for the 2,000 pieces that you see there, I might have spent like $8, I think. And they're going to last me a gazillion years. So I am adding them right to my card just to keep that clean and simple and sparkly. And there you have it on this one. So they look just like earrings, but without the posts. So they're really, really pretty. All right, and that will do it for all the cards. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is 5 of the cards I've made. I know there's a lot more to come. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get that up for you in the next week or so. And I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for crafting with me today. And don't forget to see other forums. You can find me below. And I've also linked all the items I've used. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.